Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Woo! Playing time, baby.
Yeah.
I know you're not a big fan of the playing tournament, Yusef, but bro.
I'm not, bro. I'm not, but I'm excited that we get to see some of these teams fight for a chance to get into the playoffs. I think 82 games is enough. That's why I'm not a fan of the play-in. I think my thing with the play-in is if I'm a 7 seed and I'm 10 games better than a 10th seed, and I had 82 games to show that, and I have a bad 2 games, now I'm just out of the playoffs. Like, the regular season just didn't matter, me being 10 games ahead of you. That's my problem, not the competition level, right? It's entertainment. It's exciting, to add 2 more teams into the mix, and, you get 2 playoff, environment and intensity games. But my thing is, I feel like you have 82 games to make the playoffs. So that's my thing. But we are where we are. My opinion don't matter.
I definitely felt that, bro. Because it's the way that things is going now in the league. It feels like the playoffs. The 82 game season doesn't really matter when you throw in load management, the not taking games seriously, taking games off. You're rewarding the last team for losing. You're giving them the number 1 pick in the draft. So there's a lot of parity and shit around it. But the number 1 thing I love from the plan is just like we get to start the playoffs off with game 7s. Those games, like the winner go home with and me and you are big NCAA tournament fans. That winner go home, like these niggas gotta play serious.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So,
I get that. That's why I said it's entertaining. I'm gonna be watching, absolutely. But in the grand scheme of things, that's just how I feel. But let's get into the play-in tournament. We here.
Let's go, man. So first up, man, we got your Hawks versus a familiar foe in the Miami Heat. I'm leaning towards the Miami Heat in this one, just from their experience, from their coaching staff. I'm a big Eric Spoelstra fan, and we already know how Jimmy Buckets gives it up when it's really time to hoop. We're talking about, 30 a game caliber Jimmy Buckets. I am a little nervous because this Hawks team is a very, very scrappy, hungry team. And I also think that they match up with the Heat well. I think the DeJounte signing is going to be bolster for them going forward defensively, taking some of that playmaking duty off Trae Young. I like the Clint Capella and Bam matchup. We get to see, John Collins could be an X factor in this game based on his mismatch. I don't know if they're maybe going to start Jimmy at the 4 and go with the usual Strus, Hero, and Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry's going to have a little bit of pressure on him to, step up and be worth all that damn money. One of those practice facility sales for a player. So it's interesting. Like I said, I'm going with the Heat on this one. I'm putting all my eggs on in Jimmy Butler's basket.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks.
No, I'm with you. I think you started it off with the reason why I'm gonna take the Heat. Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler. I'm going playoff Jimmy. I know Trae Young had a few good series in the playoffs, right? He's been. I think they beat the Sixers. He had that Knicks series. So Trae Young's been playing well, but I don't think to the level of playoff Jimmy Butler, man. And I think Eric Spoelstra has the experience. I think Bam, Kyle Lowry has a ring and experience. This Hawks team is very, for some reason, I feel like they should be a little better, but they're very mediocre. Like, they're very middle of the pack. And then lastly, with the game being
and the numbers say that too.
Exactly. And then lastly, being in Miami, I think Miami at home. They are in Miami, right? Miami's the 7th seed. Yeah, I think Miami at home, they're going to pull that out. So I'm rocking with you with the Heat pick there.
2-0 Miami. So next, I think this is going to be the most interesting playing game out of the four, the Bulls and Raptors. I'm betting a bag on DeMar DeRozan 30 ball and probably the Bulls money line. I do like the Bulls a lot in this matchup, but another segment where the Raptors could take this game. Both these teams have been very mediocre, middle of the pack, inconsistent, and they're literally like the same team. Like, they're in a stretch to where, like, if this shit doesn't work out, just blow the shit up. Just blow it up.
Yeah.
The DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Vucevic experiment has not panned out to how we like it. And I know we have, the Lonzo injury you could throw in there, which kind of like halted things, but that hasn't panned out. The Raptors are in a spot now to, like, post-championship window. It seems like it's time for you to get rid of the Pascals, get rid of the Fred VanVleets, and build around your Scotty Barnes. Maybe keep OG Anunoby, keep Gary Trent Jr., but I think it's really time to move from Fred and Siakam, based on the way where you finish in this play-in tournament.
Right.
But I'm going with the Bulls on this one, bro. I like the dynamic of DeMar and Zach in this type of atmosphere. I think you need efficient scorers in this type of game. And if they could Raptors is a team that starts the game very hot, very tenacious defensively. So if the Bulls can weather that first quarter storm, I can see the Bulls taking this, bro. What you think?
I think you said a lot of things that were running through my head as well. Number one, I agree. I think this is like the refresh button game. I think the loser of this game is gonna have to hit that refresh button and figure some things out. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna have to revamp that roster and especially Toronto. And I struggle with this game. I think the other three games I feel confident about. I won't use split my other two picks already, but I feel confident about that Heat game. I think the Heat will handle the Hawks. This game, I was kind of back and forth. At first, I was like Toronto, but now I'm leaning Chicago more. And I just think LaVine, Vucevic, DeRozan, P-Bev, I just think they have more pieces around them right now that's fitting right, together. And I think I've seen them play towards the end of the season, and I've seen their play move in the right direction. I feel like Toronto is not headed in that direction that Chicago is heading in. Chicago's not a world beater, but I think Toronto is heading back down to the Toronto that we know before they even got to DeMar and Kyle Lowry and they were winning. I think Toronto is headed to the bottom of the league, bro. I think they got their ring, and now it's going to be a massive overhaul. I don't see them coming out of this matchup the more I think about it. So I'm going Chicago. And quickly, I think Chicago's going to beat the Hawks, and Chicago's going to get the 8th seed.
I can agree, bro. I definitely can agree to that, man. I think at
Trae Young might be out of Atlanta.
They were talking about that. They got the DeJounte joint in the back pocket. It's funny. I hate to trail off. We're going to save this for our next segment. But we're going to talk a little bit about Luka and, Trae Young situations, where they're at now in their careers and stuff. All right. So we're going with the Bulls in those games.
So you agree that Heat get the 7th seed, Bulls get the 8th seed,
and Bulls get the 8th seed. I think I think the Bulls. I think if the Bulls beat the Raptors, they beat the Hawks. Right after and stuff. Now, OKC and the Pelicans. The writing's on the wall to say Pelicans. I think that, BI is going to drop 35 and, seal this, really implement himself and dominate this team. But there's a big but. Big B-U-T. If the Pelicans play around in this fucking matchup, OKC will win this game.
I think OKC will. I'm jumping in. I'm rocking OKC.
OKC from the rip?
OKC will.
I
beat
need
the
to hear this,
Pelicans.
bro. Why?
The funny thing is, bro, I can't even tell you why. It's like a gut. It's a gut feeling.
You can feel it.
Yeah, I just can feel.
OKC money line. Y'all hear that?
I think I'm on it. I'm gonna be on it. But I think there's a lot going on with the Pelicans. I think Brandon Ingram was out for a while. Zion's still being out. Jose, what's the backup guard?
Alvarez.
He was out
Granddad
for a
for
while.
Alvarez. He's still out.
And I like his game. He's still out. And I not to take nothing away from New Orleans, but I think OKC is a team that's playing really well together. I know they don't have the names. They don't have the BI, the CJ, and all of that. But Shea, he's going to be an all NBA player this year. You know, the way he's been playing. And there's a lot of pieces on that team, man, that's just been playing really, really well. And I didn't want to believe it throughout most of the season. I kept saying, OKC. You
think they're going to fall back to that 13, 14 spot?
Yeah, bro. But they just play hard, bro. They play hard. Josh Giddey. Who's the guy I'm thinking about? Is it Jalen Williams?
Jalen Williams. They got two Jalen Williams. The big man is Jalen Williams, but you talking about J-Dub.
Yeah, he be hooping. Bro, man, I think they're gonna pull this one out. I really like OKC in this game. I really do.
Bro, I can attest to that, man, because my worries with OKC is just they're very thin on their front court, and I think Jonas is gonna give them problems. But like you said, like they play hard, and I think you got a guy like Lou Dort he's gonna have that Brandon Ingram matchup. And I think with his intensity, you know, he guards the Kawhis, he guards the Lukas, he guards the Kevin Durant's. So I think that's gonna be key for him to slow down this Pelicans team, because the another strength that OKC has is that they have other young guys that come into the game, not necessarily at the forward spots, but at that guard rotation. You got an Aaron Wiggins, you got an Isaiah Joe. These guys is hungry and they can really get it going. And outside of the Pelicans starting five, they don't really have nobody coming in. Like Denzel Dyson's it's hard for him to get 8 points. Yeah. Josh Richardson, great energy guy, defense. He can score a little bit, but he's not a cemented. He might 13, be on the play out of the 14 league. A game. Yeah. So, and then Larry Nance. You know, Larry Nance is gonna give you the rebounding, the tenacious defense, stuff like that. But he's not a real scoring big like that. So I think like outside of Brandon, CJ, Trey Murphy, which they're real top heavy. I think after that, it's a question mark, man.
It is, bro. And I can see this being a Shea 40 game, bro. I can just see SGA going for 40 something.
And then posting rap captions on the IG picture.
Yeah, bro. I can see this being I can see this being one of those games. So that's what makes me lean OKC there.
You going OKC? I'm still sticking with the Pelicans. I think BI gets it done, but you never know, man, with this scrappy team. Now, gotta always say the best for last. This Timberwolves Lakers matchup, and my pick this morning was Timberwolves, but Rudy Gobert will not be playing in the game because he's a dumbass, and I think that kind of flaws the matchup. Even though AD was dogging him.
He was.
But I'm interested to see with Cat back at the 5 and matched up with Anthony Davis. I'm still leaning. I'm still leaning Timberwolves in this one. I think Anthony Edwards goes for 35, and somehow the Lakers drop this game. I don't know how, but somehow look, everybody gonna be like, yo, this guy hates the Lakers.
You do hate the Lakers. You do hate the Lakers. You do hate the Lakers, bro. Minnesota just got in the lunch table fight. They can't go out the recess. They not allowed out the recess, and you're gonna pick this damn team. Now, with the points that we the points that we spoke about, right? When you convinced me of this Minnesota team, right? You told me you was talking about Rudy Gobert. We were talking about Nas Reed. Neither one of them are playing. Neither one of them are playing, bro. I like Anthony Edwards. I like Mike Conley. I think I like Cat too. I think he's just getting back though. I think this is a high intensity game. Kyle Anderson, we talked about him too. And he's in this mix with, he the one that just got punched in his chest. So it's, I don't know, bro. It's just a lot going on. And I think to shift your focus into, I know Mike Conley is the leader, but I don't see them pulling it together and being able to go and beat the Lakers, man. When they played Minnesota not too long ago, I told you I took D'Angelo Russell over in points. I thought playing against his old team he was going to go off. He didn't. I think he will this game, bro. I think he's back. He got a couple games on his belt with Bron. And let's not act like Bron isn't playing. Besides that first half against the Clippers, bro, since he's come back, it's like these last 3-4 games been 30-something. And AD's playing the way he's playing. Austin Reeves has been playing. But I just don't see – I think the momentum, bro, I think it's – I think the momentum is going to carry the Lakers over.
I hope I don't contradict myself on this one, but I just remembered – I don't know what the hell is going over there. I don't know if they got a bunch of black cats, but before the Rudy Gobert incident, I think it's Jaden McDaniels is the McDaniel brother that's over there.
Punched the wall.
And I just remembered that. Lakers money line, fellas. I apologize for my take. What did I do that take?
Lakers spread.
I did that.
Take the spread.
A minute ago.
Don't be scared of the spread. Take the spread. This is
apologies, man.
And in LA, take the spread.
They're missing too many. Minnesota's missing way too many pieces, man. Way too many pieces. I just remembered that because he's their best defender. Now you're asking Slow-Mo to take this, LeBron assignment, which I'm really not a fan of. Cat now has to carry a way bigger load than, you brought Rudy Gobert there.
Right.
For these situations, and now Cat's right back to the situation that he was in last year. You don't even have a Nas Reed backing you up, so
their defense falls down tremendously. Losing Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert, and also, bro, I think the Lakers don't want to see Denver in the first round, even though I think they could beat Denver. I think they'd rather see Memphis, and I think they want the rest. They don't want to play another game. I think this is important to not put an extra game on these dudes' bodies when we're heading into the playoffs. I think they'll come out and try to make a statement in this game, bro. I really think so. And
absolutely, man.
And then who's that? Then Minnesota and OKC. For me, I know you got the Pelicans. Maybe Minnesota can get it back together by then. I don't know if Rudy Gobert will still be out or back in. But I'm going to lean Minnesota in that one. I don't know if OKC can get 2. I think that'll be a lot for SGA.
I think Pelicans get both of these and they snag that AFC. BI back-to-back 35-plus games. You heard it here first.
Does Zion come back?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I seen something floating around a couple days ago that, should the Pelicans look into trading him? Do you consider that? We'll save that for another day.